Hello, it's finally here. Six Wild Crowns, my Tudor-inspired fantasy, is out in the world, and I'm so thrilled to invite you into the treacherous, magical kingdom of Elben. This book is packed with political intrigue, unlikely alliances, and the kind of power struggles that can topple empires. What drew me to this idea of six magical queens, each one bound to a palace, in the same kingdom, was really from my fascination with the Tudors. Growing up in the UK, you learn a lot about the Tudors at school, and Anne Boleyn was my first heroine. She was pretty much my first crush, and that fascination with her and with the other queens only deepened over time and kind of joined with my fascination with fantasy and my love for fantasy. And it got me thinking, what happens if those queens weren't sequential? What happens if they're all married to Henry at the same time? How does that change their stories? We think we know what happened to them. This divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. But does that stay the same if they're in this slightly different scenario? Or does it play out as you think it's going to play out? So in this first book in the trilogy, our main characters are Boleyn and Seymour. They start as rivals, but they become allies. Now, I really wanted to explore this story of female friendship through their gaze to begin with, because they are so opposite historically. Anne Boleyn is seen as this firecracker who's outspoken and combative, whereas Jane Seymour is the mousy, submissive queen, and the most interesting thing about her, as far as everyone is concerned, is that she died giving birth to this much desired male heir for Henry VIII. And we do this all the time in society. Even now, we pitch women against each other. And I wanted to show how toxic that is, and how by removing those obstacles and this idea that these women have to, just because they're different personality-wise, have to be rivals, how powerful it can be when they come together and gradually perhaps start to bring the other queens into their orbit as well. The magic in the kingdom of Elben is predicated around this idea that a god has given his power to the king, and the king channels it out to his six queens in order to maintain this magical protection around the island. But that magic is starting to fade. Something's going wrong with it, and no one knows why. And what can you expect when that magic really starts to unravel? What can you expect when any great power starts to fade? Political shenanigans, blame being assigned to people who don't deserve it. And in this story, at least, questions start to be asked. Our queens start to wonder what's really going on, and perhaps even find out the truth and begin a fight for justice. So this is a story about loyalty, about ambition, about what happens when women refuse to play the game the way it's always been played. I can't wait to hear what you think of it. And I'd love to know in the comments what queen archetype you think you are. Are you the schemer, the survivor, the peacemaker, or the disruptor? Let me know.